Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this important hearing and allowing me to participate. As we discussed last week when I met with you in this room, I was concerned about the delays of the hospital because it does reside in the district I currently represent. And it also has been brought to my attention by various veterans across Central Florida and the Veterans Advisory Board that I have. There are a lot of concerns, and listening both today and last week, I just get more and more concerned. I have to tell you, someone said that veterans are not affected by this delay. Who was that?
I believe I made that comment, Ms. Adams.
Mr. Hagstrom, how do you quantify that statement based on the fact that we have veterans coming back from the field that have been injured in ways that they may never have survived in years past, and yet they're coming home and this hospital is not on track to be completed? They're going to have to wait. And what I said earlier when the other gentlemen were at the table was that with these injuries, they can't travel distances that are, it's not comfortable, not just uncomfortable, it's not comfortable based on their injuries. How do you say they're not being affected by this delay?
Ms. Adams, I believe my statement was they have not been denied care. I did not say.
Well, I would have to differ a little bit there. They haven't been denied care, but we have had to fight for their care in the general area of this hospital because this hospital is not completed. And some of these young men and women, due to the pain that they incur when they're in vehicles trying to travel between Tampa or Miami or wherever your agency wants to send them, based on the fact that we don't have the ability to care for them at a VA hospital in Central Florida. That's where my concern lies. So I have a couple of questions, and I would love for some quick answers because I don't want to go over my time. But Dr. Petzl, if you could please just answer yes or no. Congress passed the Veterans Health Care Facilities Capital Improvement Act of 2011, but in your 2013 budget submission, it did not include any of the additional information required by law. Is that correct?
Congressman, I would have to go back and look. I do not know.
Well, the charter for this says, this committee says that it's not included. So I think maybe you need to take a close look at that.
We will.
And I saw, Mr. Hagstrom, you said it was your decision not to fill the position, and it was an act, the Veterans Benefits Healthcare and Information Technology Act of 2006, that created this position that Mr. Neary is sitting in. And it's my understanding it's been since 2007 that it has been filled with a permanent position, correct?
Prior, when I arrived in VA in 2008, that position was filled by a qualified individual in accordance with the law.
Is that Donald
That individual
Orden
departed in February 1st, 2010, and Mr. Neary has been occupying that position since.
Okay. And did I hear correctly that you are applying the integrated master schedule to the Orlando VA?
Yes, we are.
Have you given any of that information to this committee?
Not to my knowledge.
What about the direct CFM to conduct a schedule risk analysis? You said you're applying that also to the Orlando VA?
If I could ask Mr. Neary to address that.
Sure. Well, we've implemented in our architect and engineer contracts and in our construction contracts more robust risk analysis. In the case of Orlando, we completed a risk analysis, I believe it was in December of 2011. And
did you provide that to this committee?
I don't know that we have, but we'd be glad.
What about the cost risk analysis for all major construction projects? These are all three that GAO, the 2009 GAO report, suggested that you make. You say you're now doing them. Does that also apply to the Orlando VA clinic?
It probably doesn't apply because of the situation we're in because
of the delays and the different drawings, the multiple drawings?
Pardon me?
Because of the multiple drawings over and over again?
We're doing risk analysis both in terms of schedule and cost in Orlando. The General Accounting Office recommendation was that at the outset and periodically through the entire life of a project, we assess the risks associated with those two, and we're implementing those across the enterprise.
Okay. So, Dr. Petzl, just to recap, we have 2 separate Federal laws regarding VA construction projects that you are not complying with. Next, we have a GAO report that you are using under qualified people to do analysis on these projects, which are recommended. 3 major changes in VA, which you say you have started to implement, but to my knowledge, from listening today, they have not been given to this committee. And then finally, I have about 300,000 veterans in the Central Florida area that are paying every single day for the VA's incompetence. So tell us why VA is choosing to ignore Federal law and Congress, and who should I hold responsible for the gross mismanagement of the Orlando VA facility?
The responsibility for the Orlando VA hospital rests with us and with the Federal Government. There is, from my perspective, no single individual that you could, as you wish, blame for what has happened.
Well, I just want to leave you with one thing. Our veterans deserve the care, and they need this facility to come online. They have served our country well. They deserve this care. And I look forward to hearing more about your agency getting this facility back on track and completed as quickly as possible for their benefit, our veterans'